Okay, welcome to episode 5 of making Yeovil the best team in the world. Uh, Cap de Vere. This is a guy that I was looking at for one of my striking positions. I think this will fill up strikers. He's got decent balance, um, off the ball pace, finishing, determination. Really like him. Hopefully, he won't want too much money. Yeah, that's great. Generally, the more unhappy they are, the less money they want. What I didn't check is, I was going to look at when I've got the cup games because obviously I play a weaker team before a cup game. The reason is, for some reason, I always seem to lose games before cup games. I don't know why. Seems to be a bet noir. I don't imagine that the computers were made. The AI was made back in the day for your players to throw the games before a cup game, but it certainly feels that way. Maybe they try not to get themselves injured. There might be something, I don't know. Obviously, like and subscribe. I'll keep saying that. I'll keep saying that. One of the things that I am worried about is that I'll run out of things to say very quickly. I've got a lot to say early on, and then as we move through lots and lots of videos, I just won't have much to say. So I'll try and find some funky music or run it double speed or something mad like that. Leigh RMI, best player for these is Robertson. Very good left winger. Great balance, great dribbling, great technique. Can cut it in much higher levels than this. Twist is not very good. Probably score 5 against me now because I've said that. And Trees is generally quite a good player, but his marking is an issue. I have said that over time I will start talking about the intrinsic attributes of players. At this moment in time, I won't. I'm going to give this guy a debut. He's not doing too well. Ramsey's fine. And then generally, Loic's okay. So my plan is that these episodes 20 to 30 minutes long, no longer, just so I don't have to edit them. So nice. That is a centre back. Jumping a 14 here is obviously quite good. Half time, I'm going to swap Johnson for Squire again. I just want to keep players generally above 85. I think they recover fully. Loic is my only right winger, so sadly here, that was always going to happen, wasn't it? Always going to happen. Absolute scandal, this. So one of the things that I normally do when I concede a goal, great goalkeeping display, is I swap my goalkeeper off. So I swapped Stuart Kern for Ashley Nibbs. I didn't, so I don't know why I didn't. That's frustrating. But obviously with the team that I've got, it's not ideal. Steve Ball absolutely ripping up trees there. So we are 4th in the league. Wouldn't surprise me if there's a cup game this week. Obviously with another couple of weeks, I would have been able to bring in more players. So I am just sort of short of players at the moment. Could do another right winger. There's nothing really to speak about yet. Until I've got my squad together, there's not really much to speak about. Until I've got some players that are really talented players, there's not much to speak about. Didn't mean to click on Eton. So we've got an English search completed. So like I said, positioning is the first thing we check for. Do we want positioning with tackling? So we can have defenders that can actually defend. There's no one there of interest. Off the ball we want with finishing. Terrington's sort of okay, but it's not great. Dribbling. We want with crossing and creativity and passing, although Brunton is not good enough. And then I just put it down. So I was saying here that like every 6. So because I know this person's just been to England, I now put them to Finland. The last one was Argentina to Australia, and it just means that I hit all the countries. Otherwise, I don't end up hitting all the countries. And then my Irish search is finished as well. Same idea. Positioning, McGinty. No, I think I've looked at him already. Off the ball. Nope. Dribbling. Nope. Creativity. Nope. Then passing sometimes no, and then handling sometimes no. And again, absolutely nothing doing. I knew Ireland was a bad place to go. Russia's a much more fertile ground. Leigh PT, he can just go. We're now trying to get rid of as many players as possible. So obviously I'm still looking for a right winger, I think, and that's about it. Maybe a centre back as well. I'm not claiming that the players are of any high talent that I have. However, we have got some players that are certainly good enough to win this league. They're not good enough to win a cup. We need to start finding some absolute gems. Africa is probably the most fertile ground early on. Africa and Asia both. And then obviously the Spanish players. So I'm going to avoid sending a scout to Spain for quite a while. I just don't want to load the team with players you've all seen before. Hopefully, apart from Darlington, these probably aren't players that you'll have seen before. And I'll try and keep that theme going throughout the video. So I won't sign any of the big players. So let's look at Italy. Like an Italian centre back, but I think this guy wants too much money normally. 700 quid. So this guy's good because aggression determines how often they tackle. Higher aggression the better. Positioning if they're in the right place. Pace if they can get there. Tackling. Want strength, work rate, that determines tackles as well, although it's better for a defensive midfielder. The ones that are like completely useless are anticipation. Doesn't really do much, isn't really coded into the game properly. Decisions, not really coded into the game properly, so you want these two nice and low. Obviously handling you don't want very high. Marking being high is better, but for one season, this guy is absolutely worth it. There's no way that we'll ever get 180,000 for him, so that's absolutely fine. Don't want right backs. So hopefully we can pick up a right winger. So this guy... Oh, no. He's the one I've looked at before. No. Creativity. Passing. So there's nothing really doing in Italy. So we're going to Japan now. Japan generally has some decent players in it. PT can go on the 10th. He's an exceptionally good player, usually down in these levels. Positioning off the ball, any player that's got those two, so like Michael Jack as well, they do really well in the game. Let's see how my players are playing. Yep, Colby, an absolute disaster at centre back. Loic, just a disaster. Oh, what's my winger doing? So Mick Morton's got 7.33, fullback playing in the wing. And my centre forwards. Capdevere can have another game up front. He's not doing great, but that was... How did we not win that match? Yeah, whatever. He was man of the match. How did you not score? Right, okay, so Chester. Generally, this is a really annoying formation to play against, so we might lose this one. Especially because I really need a better winger. So like I said, generally the central midfielder gets the most goals. This is going to be a tight game, really. Sean Watts can come on, Lee Johnson can come off, or Squire can go on. So... can never say that my games are low scoring and boring. That's outrageous that their keeper's got a 3 and my keeper's got a 6. What's going on there? What is going on there? 5 shots on target. 7 shots on target. 2/5. Alright, yeah, not too bad. As you can see, Steve Darlington, absolutely ripping it up. We're second in the league behind Hereford. We haven't lost a game yet. Obviously giving us the kiss of death. So I'd really like a right winger more than anything. And I'd like more competent defenders that can tackle. I'd also like a decent central midfielder that can tackle as well, because my defensive midfielder's not that great. But all in all, the places for me to improve are the wings. Wings are like the best way to score goals in this game. Having two wingers that can absolutely tear through the opposing defences is key. So we're basically on one wing at the moment, because our left winger is very good, although not perfect, and our right winger is basically just not great. So let's see if North Africa is going to give us anything. I would be tempted to take him as a winger. His versatility is a little bit low though. I will explain how, when players are playing out of position, how it impacts the game. How much does he want a month? It's just too much at the moment. And these are players I've just looked at before. There's nobody really interesting here, which is a shame. It is a shame. Yep, there's no one in that. And then, so like here, like on the other one, from North Africa, I'm going to go to North America. My reserve team. My reserve is going to get absolutely smashed in every single game that they play. So here to Africa. So, nothing doing. This guy I looked at, probably not worth it. And defensive. Again, there's nothing really doing here. I've still got quite a lot of money in the bank. I'm not going to spend that yet. I want to keep as much money back as I can, so that when I get to Division 3 and Division 2... thank you. Jackson's probably got 10 goals. Oh no, only 2. Dover atop. Hayes. Now, Hayes are a pretty decent team. I can't remember who their best players are. Squire instead of Johnson. Tempted. Oh, my only decent winger is now injured, which is obviously a disaster. As I was saying before, versatility doesn't affect many things. It affects off the ball and it affects positioning. It does affect a couple of other things a little bit less. I don't think it's work rate. So they're the two main ones, and because they're the main ones in the game, off the ball and position, not dribbling. Okay, because off the ball and position are the two main ones in the game. They're the ones that you don't want to impact. There is something else. Maybe marking is affected by it, but generally they're the ones that they do. So in theory, anyone that's got decent dribbling, decent balance, decent technique, and decent pace can play wing, regardless of their versatility. But you want to try and avoid using that. So, yep, perfect. After me saying that goalkeepers don't matter, obviously my goalkeeper's being absolutely wonderful. Just had a 3 against me, haven't I? I didn't mean to do that, sorry. Okay, so I will swap those out. Darlington can come off and Ramsey can go on. And hopefully we can get a goal in the second half. Yeah, so I don't know how true my theory about taking the goalkeeper off and a team scoring is. I've no idea. However, maybe I'm just a victim of confirmation bias. When I do it, we do sometimes score. They've purchased Courtney Naylor, so this guy doesn't normally start there. He's a very good player because pace, jumping, physicals. In this game, the guys who made it, I can't remember their name, it's so long ago, they basically said that they wanted it to be that in the lower divisions, if you had physical specimens, you would win the leagues. And then as you got between like Division 2 and Division 1, you needed to get players that were more skillful. So a lot of their play testing that they did, they just checked this. They checked that physical players did well low down, which they do, and they tested that the elite players did well up top, which they do. What they didn't test, because they wouldn't have tested, because why would they, is how freak players work. Now, we're pretty sure that, well, I'm pretty sure that they understood how freak players work because they made Toe Madeira. But Toe Madeira, like I've said before, he's not the perfect player. I can make a better player who looks worse than he is. And I can't even show you him on here because obviously he doesn't exist on here. There's nobody here that's like worthwhile. Really could do with some better players coming on these searches. He's alright, so Sweden, search, size nation, Sweden, Turkey. Yep, we've got a new centre back coming in, Sweden. There was a player here that I missed. Lovgren, 22,000 isn't going to get him. I really need him because I really need a winger. Loic Herroard is not going to cut it. New centre back though. Okay, we'll play against Farnborough. There must be some League Cup matches, some cup matches coming up soon. Squire can play instead of Johnson because Johnson's a bit tired. Mr. El Sudani, you're just gonna have to stay in the team. Sorry, Ramsey instead of Capdevere, and we will go. Farnborough are very good. I do not expect to win this game. My team is not good enough to beat Farnborough. Completely forgot to put that new defender in the team because that's our role. Yeah, I don't expect to win this game. My team just isn't good enough at this moment in time to win. So as you can see, we're struggling to even make any chances. So that was not a great performance, 5-5. Like I said before, like they've got so many players that are just really good for this level, and without getting some better players in, we're just not going to beat those teams. I was quite quiet for that game because my keeper saved a penalty, and then I think he scored an own goal, or it was definitely some mix-up. So Bradley Peters, you can go 7,000. That's fine. 325 per week. I do quite like Wayne Brown. I think it's the other Wayne Brown. So yeah, what I was going on about is that basically off the ball and positioning are like the key things in this game more than anything else for most players. And then your wingers, you want dribbling. And like the guy in the comments said on one of the videos, that there are players that don't look like they're going to be great that are far better than the all-rounders. This game really, really likes the players that are of a single purpose. So all-rounders are not liked on this game, even though obviously Van Nistelrooy does everything and players like that and Patrick Vieira. But you can make a team of complete superstars where they've got 200 potential, 200 ability and the best attributes ever, and you can make a team of 1 ability, 10 potential, and you can make them win the game. Obviously you have to match them on the physicals, because the physicals, they don't really contribute to the CA and PA, because in this game it was the CA 15 attributes, which again I will go through in more details, but I want some players that like embody it as opposed to telling you about players that I just don't have. This guy's generally quite good sometimes. So that's what it is. Now hopefully, I've lost my best defender. I've got a new Italian centre back, so obviously he'll be good because he's Italian. That's how defenders are always good if Italian. Squire can stay in. Ramsey, yeah, he's gone now, he's been dumped. So like I said, we are looking for essentially players that aren't as terrible as the players that I've got. In fact, I'd be more than happy if we could get to like December in the race. I'm now going to have to put Spiller in. Oh, he's terrible. Andy Ramsey, Vasily 9, Darlington, Vasily 4, Vasily 1. No, we're not going to do that. So he'll be not very good. Sorry, let me put it on this way. Oh, what a terrible way to finish this. So yeah, I'm going to start the episode there. I really need to get some more players in. We've got 14 points, only 3 points off top. That's absolutely fine. Maybe my hubris of starting with only 2 weeks was an issue.